Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we're all about value-adding content for you to live an authentic and fulfilled life. Today is the annual cost of living video. Some things have changed for the better, for the worse, whatever. Let's just get into it. All right, so if you're new here, welcome to my channel. We talk about living and thriving in Africa, but specifically Uganda. So we'll get into the cost of living video. This is as of, I would say, updates from last year going into this new year. So we'll start off with fixed expenses. Again, rent and mortgage for me personally still is at zero. I'm gonna fill this out for me personally, but all of these figures at the moment are just random because I was just walking everybody through this template last year. This template is also available in the description box below. So rent at the moment for me personally, I pay zero. I'm very fortunate where I do not have to pay rent. Thank you to the landlords that be. aka my parents. I'm really grateful for that. However, I am now intentionally and cautiously looking for, we'll have to pay for rent in the near future. I'm looking for a home. I've blessed to have lived in this apartment the last 5 years. It has been absolutely amazing and I'm grateful for the location. I'm about like 5 to 7 minutes to the CBD on a good day without traffic, which is phenomenal. However, I do want a compound. I want to enjoy Africa like I planned on when I initially moved here, which was to enjoy the greenery and be in more like a suburb kind of setting. As much as I love the city, I still want to be in the city, don't get me wrong, but more in a suburb setup. I want a grass. I want a compound. I want to sit outside and enjoy a glass of wine, some high tea, entertain my friends, that kind of thing. An apartment's been great, and it was everything I wanted before I moved here, but we've now since grown up and moved on. So my goal essentially would be something under like $1,000, but we'll get into that later. So at the moment, for power, I have budgeted 150, but I've noticed in the last year, I don't know what's going on, if it's umeme, if it's the taxes, I don't know and I don't care. As a consumer, I realized my consumption almost doubled. I wouldn't say completely doubled. I was paying on average 70,000 a month, but now 100,000, I'm like scratching. I'm like, what's going on? So I feel like 150 is comfortable, but I want this to be at like 200,000 a month so that I'm good. There's no question asked like what's going on, is the beep gonna come back, whatever. I'm looking at my meter right now and I put in units, I think it was like January 3rd, and it was at 220 units and now it's at 120 and it's January 23rd. 20 days? You're gonna tell me I used 100? Doing what? I'm barely here. I'm always out working and such. So I don't understand, but none of my business. Anyway, Netflix subscription, you guys feel free to put that in there. I just put subscriptions that are personal here and remove the business ones. Apple is actually a business one. I would change this now to Showmax because I have now since found that Showmax has HBO shows. I am obsessed with HBO shows and it's just HBO and then a lot of like the reality TV shows I watch. Showmax a month is 11,000 and that's pretty much all I pay for subscription wise. The rest goes under business because they're not things I consume for myself on a regular basis. Netflix, again, you can put it in whatever. I don't even know. Is it 70,000 now? That, like I said, depends on where you live and how much they charge you. My contacts are now 80,000. They went up a little bit there. It is what it is. Like I said before, I am blind. My prescription is negative 3.5. I cannot see, so I do need glasses and contacts. I don't put glasses in there because I don't buy them yearly. I buy them like once every 3-4 years, and I want to get LASIK, so we're over this life. Like, I can't even see my computer right now. It's right in front of me. Okay, so therapy now is 165. As much as last year I was like, oh, I want to do other things. No, I want my therapist back. I went crawling back. I was like, ma'am. I need an accountability partner. I need someone who kind of understands the change and shift from moving somewhere else to here. No matter if you're here for 20 years, child, it's gonna be an adjustment. It will always be. You'll never be 1,000% settled. And I'm okay with that. But I need a therapist to let that all out. So there's that. Flowers is still at zero. This is what I would say. Let's call it home deco. Let's call it home decor. and things that make you happy in your home. I would say flowers, I would love for them to be regular, but I'm honestly not even here enough to appreciate my apartment on a regular basis. And if I'm here, I'm like filming, sleeping, eating, and I'm out. I'm not like chilling, woosang. That's Sundays. I do appreciate that on a good Sunday, child. To do absolutely nothing. Mwah. So now my gym, I personally don't pay for, but it's about 300. I'll go to keep that in there. About 350,000 for a membership everywhere. The gym I was going to before was 720, but it included a massage and it was a much better gym. So I was okay with paying that difference. But right now, I'm fortunate, so I don't have to pay for that at the moment. But when that does happen again, this is just for you guys to understand and gauge what that cost typically is. So I have boxing, HIIT, and slash classes. I started Pilates. I love it. It's actually one of the pricier classes offered in Kampala that I've noticed. It's 60,000 session. Yoga, I think, is like 40,000 a session. And then I think boxing is like 25 or something like that. So consider that wherever you want to put it in for you, for whatever classes that you take. For that, I would say, I think there's a deal for 8 classes, you pay 500,000. So in a month, I would do a class a week to offset like one day at the gym. So that'd be like 250K. So let's just put that there for reference. Like I said, this isn't gonna be exact. This is just what I think you should spend on life here, or what it typically is for a single person, by the way. All right, let's get into variable expenses. This is variable because these are things that fluctuate regularly, just depends. So I have like a cap and I don't want to go above that. So right now I have groceries at 350K. This used to be at 400. I don't know if I changed it to 400 last year, but now with the cost of living, it's also increased here. Don't feel like, oh, you moved somewhere cheaper, therefore everything's gonna be cheaper all the time. Things do increase over the course of a period of time. So in the last year, I have noticed there are little things I spend a little bit more on. There's some months that my groceries are a lot more, and then there's some where it's not that bad. So for example, in January, I like to buy a lot of the things that are non-perishable in bulk or big. So for example, oil, I'll buy a big oil. If it's ketchup, I'll buy a big one. So I'm not doing that every single month. So I feel like every 2 months, you'll find it'll be a little bit more. But if you're not replenishing those bigger items, 400K is quite a lot for a single person for groceries, simply just groceries. Phone, I've kept it at 70. These days, I don't know if it's realistic, just because data, I don't know what's going on with MTN, if it's taxes there as well, but your data runs out really quickly. And I have Wi-Fi at home and I have Wi-Fi at the workplace, but yet 70K to me doesn't seem like enough. So we're gonna put this at 100K. I think that should be enough. My data that I buy on my phone is on the go, and I'm driving, so what am I really, But like, say I'm filming somewhere and I need data or I need whatever to do something, it's just better probably at 100K. So I did get house help this year, or last year technically. I am so grateful. Sylvia is the best. It's the best. It just helped me organize my life and help me focus on other areas that actually do need my attention on a regular basis. I'm fortunate enough to be here and be able to do that. She comes sometimes a week, and she doesn't come every day nor all day. It's just like when I need stuff done. So that's at 300,000. I would love her to come on a daily basis, so we're gonna have to figure out what that is most suited for her. Typically though, in Uganda, for house help, this ranges for everybody. On the highest end, I've heard 500K. That's usually somebody that's been around for a while with you, or someone that just like you really trust. Longevity. So 500K is about like $150 a month. And in that case, they're not always living. So unfortunately, my audio died at this point in the video and I didn't really notice. So I'm just going to continue the video with a voiceover, and we'll still go through all of the monthly finances. The next category we're going to chat about is car expenses. So fuel, really, really important. The 600K was obviously my Uber trips. Since then, I got a car last year. We're very, very fortunate over here, very happy. And I budgeted about 400K. My full tank for my particular car is around 200 and I want to say 60 thou to fill up my tank. And I literally work 2 minutes from my house. Okay, like 5, little exaggeration. So within that distance, in all honesty, I don't really go further out. Now that I'm filming more, I am moving around a bit more, and that's why I budgeted 400 just to be on the more safe side. And anything else that might pop up, yeah. So that's what the transport is per month. All right, the next section is miscellaneous and travel. It's really random that they're both down here, but that's just where I put them. So miscellaneous really just means like going out, what I need, if I need to top up on like beauty items, which I usually don't have to because I stock up in Canada. But just in case, you never know, like deodorants, whatever you need. And then in terms of travel, that was really just like extra things, like if I want to go to a lodge or a hotel or whatnot, like that should be budgeted for and accounted for prior to, so that I don't feel it and it's not coming out of my savings or anything like that. Because you guys know this year I'm in my savings bag, okay? So I like to put that in a separate category. All right, and when it comes to business expenses, that's gonna look different for everyone. So I just had some categories and some fake amounts that I put in there. But for me personally, those are the like number one things I need, which is a personal assistant, videographer, photographer, and an editor. Then I left an area for you guys to fill out what your income is. Some of us have multiple streams of income. Some of us just have one, so you feel free to fill it out accordingly. But for me personally, I have about 3 at the moment, so I do need to keep accounting for those as the months go. And then I have an area for debt, whether you still owe credit cards from abroad or whatever, if you have a loan, whether that's from here or abroad. Also I have that area too. For example, when I had my car loan, I kept filling it out accordingly until I paid it off. And then an area for savings too. Like I said, I want to be very intentional in this area moving forward, and I do want it different categories. So I broke it down so that you can also fill it out accordingly. And mind you, this document works best when you fill out, or actually only works when you fill out the UGX bit of it. So you'll just convert so that you get up until your USD or Canadian version. And it's always approximate just because the Forex, like the exchange rate is always changing. So there's a few things I did forget to mention in this video that I either don't pay for or that I just don't pay for on a monthly basis. So I'll get into that now. Though I pay for gas, I don't actually know how frequent my payments are. I do know that to refill a cylinder, it's max 120K, which you can do anywhere around that they sell gas, which is pretty much everywhere. And they have various different companies and whatnot, but it's generally standard price. I think it's actually 112K, but I need to actually record how often I do have to refill them, but they're not that often. So that's just a random expense that I want to mention. So water comes included in my apartment, so I don't pay for this on a monthly basis because they're mainly Airbnbs. But on average, it's around under 100K a month for a 2-bedroom apartment for water. Something I don't pay for yet per month, but I'm very cautious of because it was free in Canada, but not free here, is schooling for kids. I'm not there yet, but I do keep track of what it's going to cost me. And on average, I've seen it's about $10,000 per child per year, but can range from $3,000 to $30,000 a year per child. It really does depend, but I'm really looking out for the type of caliber of school that similar to what I went to. So very good extracurricular activities, really focusing on the well-being of the child and not just education, as much as education is extremely important. Opportunities abroad, travel, all of the above. Lastly, my own education. We never stop learning, even as adults. I want to be very intentional this year on really doing a lot more online courses to brush up some of my skills, as well as just learning about a few other things that I'm very interested in. My Luganda classes, there's so much. So yeah, keeping that in mind as well. I haven't started them yet, but I'm definitely gonna budget them for the following year. That pretty much sums up my video. Thank you guys again for watching. Apologies for the voice issues, but next time we'll be on it. But regardless, I hope this video was super informative. Please do remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and share this video with people that you feel like would benefit from this. So many of us are interested or dream about moving abroad and wonder exactly how that's going to happen. Well, these videos are here to ensure that it's an easy transition for you. Thank you guys again, and I'll check you in my next video. Bye, guys.